Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Calhoun's. If you are looking for live entertainment, folks, check out the patios at Calhoun's on the river in Knoxville, Calhoun's on the lake in Oak Ridge, Calhoun's on the water in Maryville, and Calhoun's on the lake in Lenoir City. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, live music right there on the water. Check their happenings page on calhouns.com to learn more. The taste of Tennessee plus the music of Tennessee. Calhoun's. All right. I want to welcome in the next member of our panel. We have Ryan Callahan joining us now. We've still got one more to come and be on this show. Ryan, thanks for being here. Since you weren't here, I'll let you get the first crack at this. The SEC has announced a bowl lineup, its bowl lineup from 2020 through 2025, so a 6-year swing there. They finally took a step outside the league. Something I've been asking for specifically was let fans go to Las Vegas. Play a Pac-12 team, which you never do. You are now. Bravo, Greg Sankey and the SEC. They will be going to the Las Vegas Bowl for 3 out of those 6 years. The only thing better would have been if they'd just done it all 6 years. But 2020, 2022, and 2024, it will be flip-flopping with the Belk Bowl in Charlotte, which technically is outside the footprint, but we all know it's inside the footprint. There just aren't many opportunities for fans to get outside of the region. In fact, the other bowl that the SEC added this year is the Gasparilla Bowl, which used to be the St. Petersburg Bowl, played at Tropicana Field. Now it's going to be played at Raymond James Stadium. You might be familiar with that. You already played the Outback Bowl there. Ryan, your thoughts when you're looking at that list, and that's broken down college football playoff bowls at the top. The SEC, you can read. Then you get the Citrus Bowl pick, gets the first selection of teams not in the playoff. Then the SEC doles out what it calls the pool of 6, which looks like 7 bowls based on those two flip-flopping. And then the Birmingham Bowl and the Gasparilla Bowl. I think that's the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl.
One time at least.
They're going to argue over who gets slots 9, 10, 11, 12 from the SEC. Ryan, you look at that footprint thing. My big deal is let fans travel. It's apparent the SEC prefers to let fans travel close. They think they're going to get a better trip if we have 9 bowls in Tampa. I say do more out. Get out. What's your take on that?
I agree with you. I think the Vegas Bowl is a big step in the right direction. I think it's got to be viewed as an experiment, and if it goes well, I think you're right. They probably will continue to expand outside that area, outside that natural footprint. But at the same time, I mean, I think you've got to stay in the Southeast because fans aren't traveling as far in general, but I think more and more of those trying to go out west. If fans respond well to Vegas, I think they're going to like the idea of going to some places, Arizona, California, New York, whatever you want to throw in there. Fans will travel to some bowl games, not all. Attendance is down, so I think you've got to fight that in ways you can, and interesting bowl games is a way to do that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to follow a bad team to the Holiday Bowl. But if you get a good team and you're playing in San Francisco or San Diego or New York, I think people would do that as a travel experiment. One thing that's interesting, and I'm not sure of, and I should have looked this up, Las Vegas, is the SEC pairing with them because that bowl is going to take a step forward? Because right now they play at Sam Boyd Stadium where UNLV plays. You get the Raiders going in there. Mm-hmm. Is the Las Vegas Bowl about to get a real step up in terms of where it will be played and how much money and who the sponsors are? The fact that the SEC is partnering with them makes me think the answer to that is yes.
Yeah, they'll be playing in the Raiders' new home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're playing in a dome, and it might be a more bigger payout, but anyway.
My biggest problem with what the SEC has done is they did not add the Holiday Bowl.
You want the Holiday Bowl in San Diego?
I want California. Yeah. Get out there on the footprint. And I would do that instead of playing 2 in Tampa.
Yeah, 2 in Tampa. In the same building? Because already, doesn't it seem like the way these rotations, and you also have the rotations of, all right, you're going to play ACC here and Big Ten here. It just seems like every year it's Purdue versus Florida versus Iowa. And now that you put another one in Tampa, it's just going to be more of the same. All those bowls kind of roll together to me. What do you guys think in terms of footprint? You're a traveling man.
Well, I'm with Jimmy on San Diego, but I wonder if the folks in San Diego, I mean, they probably feel better about getting a West Coast team, and I don't know who is it, Big Ten, who else plays in that game. I don't know if they would.
I think now is Big Ten, Pac-10.
I don't know if that's an opportunity for the SEC or not, but I look at that chart, and I think right now Tennessee fans might be going to the Gasparilla
Bowl. More Tampa. David, you got to.
I think, yeah. Ultimately, the bowls are difficult because I think you have to stick to your tradition on the big bowls, but I think you got to throw in as many wild cards as possible when you have the lower tier bowls. And I'll tell you one thing, before I answer this, are we on in Shreveport? I don't think we are.
No, but Jimmy
But I
has
know-
family in Shreveport.
I know. Okay, Jimmy, I didn't say this, but there's
I'm
one
about
bowl.
to hear
There's
it.
one bowl missing from that list, and I'll say that I'm not too broken up about it. And
I
I
am.
suspect that fans are not either.
I'm crushed.
And I think that's a good move. Is getting outside the
Awful
footprint,
move.
but you got to just as many wild cards on that lower level, because if you don't
Yes.
have a great team, go somewhere that you don't have a chance to go to very often, and you might never get a chance again.
We've talked about this before, but when I was a young man, Tennessee was going to El Paso one year.
My first year on the beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, great trip. I would have never been to El Paso if it wasn't for that.
I don't know that Juarez is the best place to go now, as it might have been in '84, but still, that's one that I don't think many Tennessee fans would say, hey, what are we doing this weekend? Let's go to El Paso.
Yeah.
But that was a good trip,
It was.
as opposed to, hey, you want to make our 56th trip to Tampa? Just get outside the footprint. Vegas is a start. They're dipping the toe. Not in the water, but in the sand.
The other reason I think fans will travel, as we've talked about this before, kind of related, scheduling. We're not seeing as many great non-conference series that teams are playing. Bowl games can sort of take advantage of that by convincing fans to make a long trip to somewhere like Las Vegas.
Which is another great thing about the Las Vegas Bowl, that you will be playing Pac-12 teams, which you see fewer than any other intersectional matchup in the SEC.
A quick point on that. When you see SEC teams play non-conference opponents that are elite, like Tennessee at Oklahoma or Georgia at Notre Dame, they travel.
Right.
Well, a lot of teams from the SEC, if they get that Las Vegas Bowl, they're going to be going, I think. So I think you will sell a lot of tickets to that.
I agree. All right. When we come back, we checked in with Mark Pankratz, since all of the Rick Barnes, UCLA, huge salary stuff went down, and the NBA departures and everything else, the transfers in and out. Mark Pankratz joins us. We're going to talk about challenges facing Rick Barnes this year. What is the biggest one? Come on back.